everybody, it's me, Michael. In this video, we're doing a stealth camp. I'm in a local park. They have horse trails, mountain bike trails, and hiking trails. We're right next to a really popular river, and there are fishing trails around the side of it. Some of the fishing access is done via this trail. So right now I'm hiking in. I don't get a whole lot of time to go out. So when I do go out, I make sure that I plan everything so that it goes smoothly. And part of that planning, even though I may not get to plan what beer it is or what food I am taking with me, sometimes that's like last minute thing. But one thing you can't leave to chance is security. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I make sure that I stay ahead of the competition, especially when the competition is out to get me. I mean, quite literally. Well, that's crazy. They're on to me. Helicopters are looking for me. Okay, so check this out. Trail camera. He's the fucking one, man. Nah, it's not him. I gotta see if there's any cameras up here, dude. It's Asparagus. All right, well, she's not pretty, but she'll do for the night. I was hoping to get another stick for the other side, but what are you gonna do? I'm not expecting rain tonight, so it should be okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I would think if there was gonna be any up there, they would be fucking right around in the open. Now that base camp is set up, before I eat and get all that taken care of, I'm going to do a quick inspection and set some perimeter security. I'm on a fishing trail next to the river, which has it's on the chain of lakes. So there's lakes and rivers all connected together by the river. I don't know where the other side of this trail that I'm on goes to. It's fairly well traveled down that end. I want to make sure up this end that it's okay. This was kind of sparse, which is why I chose this spot. So I'm gonna do some recon, and I'm about ready for a beer. All right, I found the situation that I'm looking for. Behind the camera, 2 trees set so that they're parallel more or less to one another with some growth on the side of the trail. You can see that there's bush here. This is about face level on the side of the trail. And along the side of the trail, there are other little trees coming along. The trail is still a little wider than I would like it to be, but I think it'll be okay. My camp is behind me over here and then up a hill. I've got a decoy system set that I can set up that is gonna basically take them in a direction where I want them to go. So when I hear the early warning system go off, I will be able to look down here, see my decoy. I shouldn't be detected by anybody who is coming down the trail looking for me if they are in fact looking for me. Okay, so this is the trail. We're going down the trail. And this is something that you're probably gonna wanna know. My expectation is that that's the direction that people will be coming from this way to me. My tripwire is gonna be over here, and that's gonna alert me that someone's coming up the trail. When they kick that thing off, it's gonna set off a diversion over there. And anyone with flashlights is gonna see step number 3. It's gonna be the appearance of structure is basically what it's going to be. If you've ever ordered a hammock off of Amazon, this is the rope that comes with it, okay? If you're gonna order a hammock, a tarp, or any type of camping equipment from Amazon, most of it's designed for hikers and whatnot who don't really care if you see them. It's not designed for stealth campers. So this right here, this thread has woven into it reflective pieces of thread, which when a flashlight shines on it, it looks like a light rope in the woods. So someone trips the tripwire on the early warning system, making a bunch of noise, directing their attention to where I want their attention to be so that I can see from an elevated position over there that someone is here and looking around, and they begin looking in the direction of the reflective things in the woods. Because I'm elevated and I'm far enough away, I can look down and see them, see what they're doing, see what their progress is, make the appropriate movements, and then get out of here in a way that is away from where they are. So in my bag of goodies, this is my early warning system. I have these guys here with me. This is just a regular garden variety push pin. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this as kind of an anchor point. I'm gonna take 2 sticks that I'm just gonna grab randomly off the ground, and I'm gonna throw them down into on either side, and I'm gonna create a V-type structure, something that is not natural in the woods, especially if it's lit up like a Christmas tree in the dark. And then that way, whenever someone shines a light on it, they're basically gonna see a V structure where there shouldn't be a V structure that lights up every time they pass a light over it. And then that's gonna alert them that something's there they need to investigate. And then basically I'm gonna be way over there watching from a distance. So I'm gonna see them flashing their lights around here. Once their eyes are accustomed to needing the flashlight to see everything, they're not gonna be so easy to see me way over there in the dark. Okay, now I know it's hard to see, but now there is a V-type structure over there that looks like it might be a tent. Dialing it all the way back to the trail, you don't see anything. And it's roughly the same from back here where I'm standing. The camera takes a lot off of it from a distance, but it's roughly the same. Now we gotta set the early warning system that it's basically gonna draw the eyes and the flashlights in the direction that we want them to go. What I got here is a bank line fishing reel. Basically the way this guy works is it has some holes on the side. You're intended to tie this to like a tree on the side of the bank where you're fishing. And then basically it has the little fishing loop on it. Now what I do is I stick this end of it, I stick the business end of it through a couple of cans. And then I take it and I loop it back over here so that this loops through the cans. Basically the idea is that I put this over on the tree and I'm gonna use my push pin. I'm just gonna put that into the tree and then I'm gonna put this around it. On this end, this is a piece of wire. I pull this out. Now this is spring loaded. So when this thing is set off, it automatically retracts the line that's on here. But basically you set that. It's got a little thing on there, right? You pull that, boom, that thing goes up. You go to the dollar store and you get the cheapest thread that you can get, and this is just a thread bobber. This is gray, you can use green, you can use whatever you want. I mean, obviously not yellow or red or anything that's gonna show up, but I'm just gonna use this gray here, and then basically, this is my tree for my trip wire. It's gonna be right here. All right, I've got a little loop in here, right? And I've stuck my push pin into the tree. This is gonna loop right on here. And I'm gonna very carefully make sure that that's stuck like that. That's not really going anywhere. Now I'm pulling out as much as I can. And I'm setting that. That's set like that. I'm gonna pull this out here. I'm gonna take this. This has got to be fed out across the trail. So we're setting the tripwire. It's gonna come across here. It's gonna go to over there. Now, I'm gonna take this stick here. I'm gonna put it in the ground over here. Okay, so what you have now, and I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up or not, but there's a piece of thread right there. That goes right across the trail. And I have this stick in the ground right there. I'm gonna have to like pound it down a little bit better. But that stick in the ground is holding that taut. So that goes right across the trail. I've got my trip wire here. So what I'm gonna do is I need to obscure that a little bit, not a whole bunch because it's not really that noticeable, but I need to obscure it a little bit. On this side, I'm gonna bring this down into the track. And on this side of it, so the tripwire goes here, and then on the other side, put one bush there, one bush there. On either side, they're gonna see that, and they're gonna be driven into that pinch point between those two bushes. Okay, so if you're walking down the trail, all you see is this stuff here laying in the trail. You don't see the little thread that's in there. And when you walk by and catch the thread, it sets off the trap. So now I gotta set it up again. All right, so we're up top. This is the edge over here. And then if I look down there, that's the trail. And over there, behind those trees, that way, over there is where I set up the structure. But this vantage point gives me high ground to see all around me. And the grass up here is tall enough that I can just sit down in the grass and not be seen. So I did, however, find a trail camera down there. And that helicopter has come back and has made a very deliberate and directed circle over me, angling down and looking directly into where it was that I was standing. So if I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess, I'm gonna guess that's the guy who owns the trail camera that I saw. It was a wireless trail camera, so he probably was alerted to the fact that there was movement on it and then saw that it was a person and hopped in his helicopter to come over and see if he couldn't investigate and catch whoever it was that was over here trying to steal his cameras, which I'm not trying to steal his cameras. I could give two shits about his cameras. I got a problem. In my haste to get here, apparently, I forgot to put the beer in my pack. I'm gonna call home base and see if I can't get someone to bring that over here to me. It is what it is. So. Come on, pick up, pick up, pick up. Hey. Yeah, I'm filming. I got a problem. Yeah, could you do me a favor and look in the refrigerator for me on the bottom shelf? There's a silver bag there? Okay, that's what I thought. All right, yeah, could you just bring that to me? Look inside it real quick and make sure that it's got the glass in there. It does? Okay. Yeah, and yeah, could you like make it quick? I'm starting to run out of daylight. 5 minutes? Okay. All right, cool. Thanks. Alrighty then. I'll bring you back as soon as that gets here. Took you long enough, bro. What took so long? Well, you didn't exactly give me the best directions. And I didn't have the bicycle put in here. All right, just set that on over there. You mind if I stay? Walking in here, trying to get in here as fast as I could. Made me kind of thirsty. Yeah, I suppose you're here now, so just put your chair over there. Fine. So, when I went to New England on my recent trip, I brought out a bunch of beers that you can only get here in Wisconsin. And that's kind of the thing on my channel, is I try to do beers as best I can that are only available here in Wisconsin. When I went through New York, I tried to get a Space Kitty. I was unsuccessful doing that. Get a Space Kitty? No. No Space Kitty. So, indeed. But in any event, when I was going through Vermont and New Hampshire, I was able to get some, strictly speaking, New Hampshire and Vermont IPAs. So there was that. On my trip through, I think it was Wilmington, I stopped at a store there, kind of as an afterthought. And a gentleman in that store was kind enough to recommend this little gem here. This is Green Empire Brewing's side business. Those are the guys that you were watching on the internet, the podcast the other day. They were brewing in their apartment? Yeah. Well, it was in their apartment. They might have moved out of that by now. I watched a podcast by BAOS podcast on the internet. I'll leave a link in the description to that podcast. So if you want to go and watch that, you can. I'll give you a brief synopsis of it real quick. Those are the guys that started, they met each other at college, right? Yes. They met in college, and their girlfriends knew one another. And they were both into home brewing beer. So after meeting and talking about home brews and brewing beers and what goes into them and whatnot, I'm assuming tasting some of their own home brews, they decided that one of the guys was like really excited about it, and the other guy was super excited just because that guy was excited. So they decided that they would start brewing their own beers. Yeah, and they started by brewing in their apartment. One of the guys would drive all the way from Burlington all the way up to New York, to some town in New York, to meet with the other guy, and they would brew in the apartment up there. Yes, that's exactly how they did it. And then eventually, the one guy moved to Vermont, and then he didn't have to drive back and forth from New York to Burlington. They moved to a place called Colchester, and so that's where they have their main brewing facilities now. But this side business beer is the first beer they ever made, so it's kind of their flagship brew. And this beer here has a 7% alcohol by volume level, and it's made with Columbus bittering hops and Citra and Mosaic in the batch. That's going to give it the true. Oh, absolutely correct. Citra and Mosaic give it that fruity, pineapple-y, kind of grapefruity, citrus kind of thing, which what the true traditional New England IPAs are known for. In the natural style of that beer. It's real citrusy, sometimes pineapple-y, grapefruity, sometimes mango, but it has a kind of a fruity thing, and it's real cloudy in the glass. And this one's got a little bit of a dank smell. I had smell of it when I tasted it back at the house. Speaking of glass, you got the glass there? It's in the bag. Okay. You can see it's got that nice amber hue to it. Well, it's kind of more of a milky, kind of foamy, cloudy thing. It's got nice foamy head, plenty of lacing down the side of the glass on that. We let it settle a little bit. It smells. Yeah, I can smell the grapefruit on it immediately from that. You can see it's got that traditional IPA cloudiness to it. And we're gonna give her a taste. Oh yeah, oh that's good. That hits the spot, man. I tell you, after trudging around the woods for all day. So, here, I'll put this right here. You go ahead, you have a taste. Well, I don't mind if I do. And I might as well say, took you long enough. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's good stuff. I like good New England IPA, as do I. And hadn't planned on this whole thing going, but kind of worked out kind of nice. Appreciate you bringing this out for me. Well, not a problem. I was just sitting around doing nothing, so. All right, well, I'm happy to help. It's starting to get dark, so I'm gonna need to pack this up and have you skedaddle. I gotta get back up to camp. So let's do that. All right. Later, everybody. I'll see you later. All right. Well, let me get this stuff wrapped up and we'll get back up to camp. All right, well, I guess the trail just cuts across. It's getting dark. By the time I make it back to camp, I'm gonna need lights. I haven't seen the Fish and Game Patrol, so we should be all set. All right, well, sorry for the bumpiness, but it is what it is. It's supposed to get down to 64 overnight, so shouldn't be too cold. But it was 90 over the day, so it is kind of a big difference in temperature. So we're almost back to the base camp, and I'll light you up when we get there. I brought the Coleman quick burner dealie, so I'm gonna set that up. And I got some beef stroganoff. It's one of those trail meals. I haven't done one in a long time, so I figured, I didn't know what it was gonna be like getting in here. I figured it would be something that would be easy to cook. We'll get this cooked up. Then maybe we'll have another beer. There's a lot of grass up here, so, and I don't know what the actual looking out at the skyline, it's really nice, but it should be good. I have, here we go, Walmart option, beef stroganoff. The little billy pot out. I don't know if the microphone's picking it up. I don't hear it now. There's a bar that way, and there's a band. Every so often I hear them playing. When I was headed back in here, I could hear them quite well. All right, so that's good. All right, I may have to hold that, but that's okay. I'm gonna need some water. I'm gonna put some water in out of this. There we go. There we go. All right, that's going. I don't know if I get, there we go. Keep an eye on that. I don't need this grass catching fire. Let's dig into the beverage center once again. And we're gonna go down under. Foster's. It's Australian for beer, mate. Whoa, I guess I shook that up a little bit. They had a really killer commercial back in the 80s. The camera shot was just of a fly that landed on the wall, and then a hand with a shoe in it came from out of screen and was swinging towards the fly on the wall, and when it hit, multiple colors of like paint in it, and it just splattered all over the wall. Then the Foster's logo was imposed over it, and it just said Foster's, Australian for beer. So, which I thought was kind of funny. Any of my Australian brothers, here's to you, a Foster's. I do love me a Foster's. I'm hoping that the owl that I heard earlier comes closer. This far south, I very rarely get a chance to hear any owls. Normally when I'm in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is the only time that I get to really hear owls. And then, even then, it's kind of rare. That or northern Wisconsin. There was one camp that I stayed in northern Wisconsin where there were lots of owls, but rarely do I hear them. But I mean, I know they're out here, so. The perimeter warning system has been set. So, yeah. So we're almost getting a boil here. Let's check it. Nope, not yet. Not quite yet. It's starting to cool off and get chilly. I might have to put a hoodie on. Fortunately, I brought my hoodie, and I brought my lid for the morning because I know I'm gonna have messy hair. So, oh, we're boiling. Let's turn that down. There's supposed to be, oh, there it is. I was gonna say, there's supposed to be like a cut mark on here. Okay. So now, let's move this guy over here. There we go. Get that in there. Ooh, it smells pretty good already. I'm gonna set it down because it's kind of hot. Oh yeah, supposed to take that out. It's like the oxygen keeps it dry while it's packaged. All right, that's all mixed up. And stick that there so it doesn't go anywhere. And we're gonna seal this up. Go. And I'm gonna set this right there and let that cool up. Set this in here so it doesn't get lost. Thinking it's time for the hoodie. The wind's picked up a little bit. All right, so I stepped over to the side. I wanted to check that light again. It would appear it's just a floodlight from the complex that I'm next to. But I also wanted to check my decoy markers. If you check this out, this is going to show you basically what I'm talking about when I say decoy markers, because this is basically an odd structure in the dark that when the light hits it, it's going to light it right up. It lights right up. The camera's probably not going to show it as good as it actually is, but when you're in the dark and the light hits this thing, it's like a glowing red, like it's like one of those glowing light tubes that they sell for like the boats and stuff that glows when the light hits it. All right, apparently I was freaking out over nothing. All right, so I'm back. I saw some lights over there, heard a sound, which I thought it was the sound of the early warning system going off. So I shut everything down. After I got everything turned off, I went over to the ridge. Where I'm at, it's like up a hill. There's like a hill bankment that goes around the whole perimeter, and then it dips down in, which is why I thought this was the perfect spot. All of the parts around me, for the most part, are either blocked by forest, okay, by tall oak trees. So the trail skirts by. Bordering where I'm at, the river and the lake is over here on this side. There's a complex over there on this side that borders the river and the lake. That complex is completely lit up with spotlights aiming in at the complex. I would assume so that their security, if they have security, would pick up anybody that had jumped the fence and gone into their complex and, did whatever it was they were there to do. The moon is illuminating the whole area here. Not enough for the camera to get what's going on, but enough so that if anyone looks in this direction, they would think they were seeing illumination from the moon up here if they saw this light. So basically I thought I heard a sound. Thought I heard the early warning system go off. So I shut everything down, controlled my light profile, and went and like stood over there and watched for a while. And I thought I saw headlights of like an ATV type vehicle or like a headlamp type thing over in the bushes, like a ways away. Basically, I stood there and I listened and I waited, and I didn't hear any talking. I didn't hear any human movement. And I watched the light that I saw. I'm assuming that what it is that I'm hearing is just like woodland creatures running through the woods. And I'm assuming that that light that I saw is basically just the spotlight that's in that corner there aiming in towards the thing. And so I'm going to give it a little bit, and I'm going to go back over there and see. If it's still in the same exact spot and still has the same exact conditions, then I'm going to assume that that's what it is. With that said, I am flippin' starved. So the beef stroganoff is ready. I'm going to see if I can get any of this in my beard. This is actually quite good. I had read online that it was difficult to freeze-dry meat, which this appears to have chunks of beef in it, because of the oil content or the fat content, something along those lines, made it like so that it didn't really dehydrate well. This appears to have dehydrated quite well. If I was hiking, this would probably be good. but it would get old real fast. I probably wouldn't ever want to look at it again. But on the occasional stealth camping mission, not bad at all. After a long day of tromping around the woods, scouting around, seeing what the area is like, really good. It's almost gone, and I'm gonna be sad when it is. I don't know what the microphone's picking up, but in the background, there is that band that's playing at that bar, which is on the other side of that complex over there. And then, like way far, well, not way far away, but I'm gonna say like probably about 5 miles away, there is a racetrack, Wilmot Raceway or whatever, and I can hear the race cars up there that are, you know, I can hear their engines racing. I don't know if the microphone's picking it up or not, but well, scraping the bottom of the barrel on that, that's gone. Beef stroganoff with noodles. It's the moodles that I love. There's an owl out there. I'm gonna see if I can't bring him in a little closer. That was me. He's been calling on the regular. Yeah, he shut up. So he had to have heard that. I would think, because it's a different type of hoot that I did, I would think that he would perceive that as someone encroaching on his territory, and he would go to investigate, because he doesn't want another male in his territory, and if it's a female, he's gonna want to get together. further south. So one or two things happen. He's either going down there to see if he can get me to call again, or he's like, oh shit, I'm in somebody else's neighborhood, I'm out of here. He was more southeast before. Yeah, now he's more southwest. So he's doing one or two things. He's either trying to triangulate my position, or he was like, oh crap, I'm in somebody else's fucking neighborhood, I'm out of here. Because he was pretty regular. When I first got here earlier, he was just south of my position for quite a while, and then he moved southeast. And he was southeast for like pretty much the past hour or more. It was quiet for a long time, and then he started back up. And right now, he moved way southwest. I don't know how much this phone is picking up. The camera, the viewfinder, shows me quite a bit of light. The area I'm pointing towards right now is towards, like, what I'm seeing is either the moon or there's a city, not really a city, it's a really big town. Lake Zurich, it's south of me, so, no, I'm sorry, Fox Lake, what am I saying? Lake Zurich is way south of me, but it's Fox Lake over there. So I'm either seeing the moon or I'm seeing the city lights. Over here is where, that's the complex that was next to me, or that is next to me. And I checked that light that I was looking at before, and that light is basically, it has to just be a floodlight on the perimeter, on the back perimeter towards my side. So let me try calling for that owl again. It'd be kind of cool if this is coming out. I'm expecting it's just going to be sound. This is what you're going to get. Yeah, I don't hear him at all now. He must have skedaddled. Either that or he's flying in for a sneak attack. Well, either way. Alright, well, I'm all tucked in. crazy. I can hear the band over there playing Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult. I don't know if it's coming through on the thing. Probably not. I don't know. But anyways, the fucking, I had to put the bug net on because mosquitoes started showing up. And it's like, but because the trees are so far apart, the rope barely makes it. So it's like, I couldn't like hang it up so that it would be above the hammock. So it's like right at the level of the hammock. So I'm like mashed in here. So, but it's like 11 o'clock or whatever. So I'm gonna turn in. I'll bring you back if anything crazy happens. This is like a crazy view. This is a crazy view. Alright. Bye. Morning, everybody. It was a quiet night once that band stopped playing. Tried calling, there was an owl that was out there. I don't know if any of that came out, but I tried calling him to get him to come closer. He flew all around me. He flew, he started off, he was like on my northeast, and he flew southeast, and he flew southwest, and then he was back on the northwest by the end of the night. But he never came any closer. Stayed right away. So I guess that was that. Well, you can see me set up over there. I am going to get things cleaned up, packed up, and then start packing back out to where I stashed the bike. So if you like this video, please consider giving me a subscribe and click the like button, thumbs up, and maybe share with a friend. Make sure to click the notification buttons and you'll be alerted when my next video comes up. Given my hectic schedule and how things go, I'm considering making it a like every other week thing, just so that I don't have to like be like frantic, crazy, under the gun and drive myself insane trying to get things up, right? So I appreciate your patience. I did have a bunch of people after my update, you know, say to me, you know what, it's okay if you don't do it every week, and we like your videos, and I appreciate that. It really means a lot to me. So wish me luck, and I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get everything put back into the backpack and take it down, and then we'll get hiking out of here. All right, bye. And the fact that my choice of Gadget was an early warning system to let me know when somebody was sneaking up on me tells you all you need to know about Illinois.